I have a little script writing quirk, and every time I tell someone what it is, they roll their eyes and snort derisively. But strange as it may sound to them, they can't deny that once they know it, they also know how long their scripted videos should be. A video should be as long as it needs to be to cover the topic and as short as it needs to be to maintain interest. I've heard that for years. It's excellent advice that's not really usable. Let's look at something that really might work, for scripted videos anyway. It works for the unscripted too, but they have issues like getting up your view count for advertising and getting down your word count for YouTube Shorts, and we'll cover those another time. Right now, it's about the scripted videos. So I have almost 300 of those on YouTube, and many of them are exactly 800 words long. Why? Who knows? It's true that 800 words is just long enough to build 6 critical features into a scripted video of this kind. Those 6 features are the hook, the opening, the problem, wrapped in a story, the solution, and a graceful call to action. It's also just short enough to read from a teleprompter without fatigue setting in and spoiling your energy. Now, if you want to make videos for a business that isn't exactly the easiest for people to understand, like maybe life coaching, then your videos have to make that business feel not like a nice-to-have thing, but a must-have. I have found that those kinds of businesses generally aren't run by super competitive people, so they need a way to make competition itself irrelevant. Actually, it's helpful for everyone. That's really what these features are about, which is why you would script your videos in the first place. The nice thing is that it takes out most of the guesswork, lets you pack in as much value as possible in 5 or 6 minutes, and allows you to make a video every week between all the other stuff you have to do. So I'll give you the formula if you'd like to try it once or twice, except for the 800 words. Don't do that. It could get super distracting. So first, we have a cold open with a hook, which I'll spend the most time on and return to again and again while I'm writing. I try to keep it under 30 seconds. I want it to raise curiosity and be polarizing. In other words, attract the ones who it is for and repel those who aren't ready for it. Then we have the animated opening, which gives all those poor folks who accidentally wandered in here by mistake a good place to jump off, and lets the professionals know that they're in the right place. Now you can get into the problem, and this is super important. We're not so much going to be focused on describing the nuts and bolts of it, but rather the emotional fallout. And it's helpful to embed it in a story. Like, I had a client who couldn't get his videos off the ground because he had this idea that he had to stuff himself into a YouTube-ish mold. So he was tensing up. And later, he hated watching any videos he made looking so stiff and awkward. So now we can go to the solution, and that doesn't take as much time as you might think, as long as you've laid out the problem as clearly and emotionally as you can. The solution is just the mirror image of the problem. Like, can't get your videos off the ground? Build your content engine with structures that contain the right energy. And the key to that is that it comes from you. There's no one else you can emulate who can possibly convey this energy and emotion as uniquely as you can. And that brings us to your call to action. But before we get there, I'd like to clarify that this structure is just one among many that you could use. It happens to be the one I use on a regular basis, but it's not the Holy Grail. There is no magic bullet. There's what comes from your heart. That's what people are waiting for. That's what will differentiate you. So finally, we come to the call to action, where you offer a deeper dive into what you've been discussing, or send people to another video, or leave the lesson alone for now so that your audience has time to digest it. Then all that's left is to come up with your parting words like, These are the kinds of things you'll write if what you seek is visible authority.